everybody, Josie here. I just got out of the movie theaters. I saw It Comes at Night, and I'm gonna give you my review on it. Now, when I first saw the trailer for this movie, the very first trailer, it was back in like February, I think. And immediately I was very intrigued and very interested in this movie, and I immediately put it on my list of movies to expect or to keep an eye out for. And when I first saw that trailer, it reminded me a lot of The Witch or The Witch, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And It reminded me of that movie not because it has a similar plot or anything, because it's totally not the same plot, and comparing both trailers, they're not the same movie at all. But the reason I say it reminded me of that movie is because immediately I saw the trailer and I said, this trailer's trying to sell it as a horror movie, but I feel like that's not what this movie is. Kind of like when The Witch came out, the trailer sold it like a horror movie, but there was more about the characters. That one I felt was more of a character study, and I loved that movie, and I figured this was gonna be something along those lines, um, and I was right. Surprisingly, right? No, but yeah, I was correct in assuming that this was not the horror movie they were trying to sell me. And I think that's important for people to know because I don't know exactly what the word is on this movie yet. I tend to not look at these things until after I give my opinion, just so there's no bias. But I feel like they've been selling this movie, especially with the last trailer that they showed, which I saw in before another movie. They were selling it more as your typical horror movie, or whether you're in the middle of a house and something's coming for you at night and stuff like that. But if you're gonna go to this movie thinking or expecting that or wanting to see that, let me just tell you right now, that's not what this movie is. And if that's what you want to see, you're gonna be disappointed. However, if you're open minded and you want to watch a very smart movie and that focuses on the characters, and you want to see uh, characters in this type of situation, I think you're gonna really love this movie. And I don't want to talk about the plot too much because I feel like the less you know, the better. But it is important to say that it's not a horror movie. What I will say about the plot is, it's basically, it's like I believe it's post-apocalyptic, but you don't know exactly how many years it is. And that's what I admire about this movie. So there's like a virus or something that killed humanity, or you think it killed humanity, and there's only a few people left. And what I like is that the movie doesn't explain anything. You're just dropped in, and you kind of have to catch up quick because there's no exposition explaining how this world works, how this world got this way. You're just told, you're just shown how these characters interact and how they mention certain things, and then you could piece things together. So from what I piece is there's a virus or some sort of bacteria that killed humanity, and they're trying to prevent themselves from getting infected. Now it could be a zombie virus, it could be a plague. We don't know, or maybe we do. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you. But yeah, that stuff is cool because you just don't know, and the the draw to this movie and what makes this movie amazing is not the virus. That's in the background. It is a threat that's looming, but the the what this movie is about is just these characters interacting with each other because they meet another family that moves in, and now you have these two families living in the same roof, and there's tension. There's a lot of tension, and while there isn't a lot of your traditional scares as you would see in a horror movie, or like the horror movie they're trying to sell you with the trailers, the scares come with the tension because you just don't know what's going to happen at any given moment. You're expecting something, but you have no idea if what you're expecting is going to come to fruition, or if you're going to get something else. And like I said, this is a very hard movie to review because I anything I say could pretty much spoil the movie for you guys, and I can't stress this enough. It's a movie you have to watch without knowing too much of it. And yeah, so everybody, all the actors are amazing in this, and they really sell the, like I said, the tension between the characters and the paranoia, because there's a lot of paranoia between these people, and you try to put yourself in their shoes, and I feel a lot of times I would have made the same decisions that these people do, and And yeah, so then eventually, the ending of this movie is really a non-ending, and I think it's gonna split people down the middle, because there's a lot of people who like to go to movies and they want to get conclusion. They want to have that satisfaction of knowing they saw something all the way to the end. And right here, when the movie finishes, um, it pretty much finishes after in a spot where you're expecting the movie to continue to see how they deal with this aftermath, but it just finishes and then that's it. And I thought that was a great ending because it makes you think and it makes you form your own conclusions, and it makes you realize that the point of this movie wasn't the plot or anything like that. It's the characters. So it told you what it needed to tell you, and now you make your own decisions based on what the movie told you. And I think that was smart, and it's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, right before that scene, just something crazy happens. Like I, I can't talk about it because I don't want to spoil it again. But it's this culmination of all the tension that's been building throughout this whole movie, and it just unleashes it on you in like a very dramatic way. And I was left watching it with my jaw dropped, and it was very ballsy, I would say. And then it finishes, and you're just like, what? And yeah, so I highly recommend this movie, you guys, but don't expect a horror movie because that's not what you're gonna get. Just expect, some tension and some character drama, and I think you're gonna be very satisfied. So yeah. Let me, and if you guys have seen the movie, let me know because I'm really curious what people think of this, and yeah, let's form a discussion. I want to talk about this. All right, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.